Hey Basket Brains, Kirby here, aka Darkwing Disc. I am alongside Ollie Depina, and welcome to episode 3 of the KO Disc Golf Show. Ollie, I was just thinking to myself on that intro, I think we need like a theme song or something to kind of get the show like started with a little like upbeat kind of kick. What do you think, man?
I like that. I like that. I really like that idea.
I think it would be fun. I think we need to reach out
I
to,
agree.
yeah, if we can find any like musicians in the area that want to kind of throw down like a quick little beat or track for us, man, we'd really appreciate it. And we'll, find a way to kind of, pay you back for it kind of thing for sure. So that's something that I think we'll kind of work on in the coming weeks. So, but yeah, welcome to episode 3. Ollie, how you doing, man?
Doing well, doing well. Fun weekend, beautiful weekend, and work was chill yesterday, and yeah, it was good.
Nice. Good to hear. Before we get started, we're going to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of this episode. Here at the KO Show, our sponsor is the people around us. So first and foremost, I want to thank my wife, Ellie, for supporting me and just kind of like being my best friend all in all. Ollie?
I'd like to thank my partner Roxanne. She's at all my tournaments, filming and kind of like that emotional caddy and support for me. And I'd like to thank my mom, who kind of is the person that really supports me with disc golf. First person to kind of get me into it with, I remember coming home from Lakewood one day and backing up into my house and seeing a green neon Axiom basket in my backyard that she got for me. So big shout out to my mom, big shout out to Roxanne, big shout out to my dad, my older
Yeah.
brother Max.
Cool. Yeah, thank you to the people around us. All right. Getting right into the show. Going to talk about my Raymond Psych recap, or the lack of, to be honest. Woke up Saturday morning and just felt like absolute crap. I think all the pollen in the air from the week before has really kind of aggravated my allergies. I've been having some really itchy eyes, been having like just like a running headache all day. So I'm on allergy medication now, but I definitely woke up Saturday not feeling like I was going to be able to like compete to like my own standards kind of thing. So yeah, there's plenty more opportunities. The season's still kind of early and young. I'm really looking forward to getting out to Shelton in a couple of weeks and then having a quick turnaround right to Las Vegas. So getting into Ollie's weekend of disc golf tournaments, Blazing Birdies. My boy picked up his first MA1 win. Let's go!
Yep, it was sweet. I went on to the PDGA thing, checked it out. It was like my first win since May 20th, and that was an MA3 at SeaTac. So
End the drought.
it
End the
feels
drought.
end the drought, end the drought. I've had a couple like second places, third places, and stuff like that to feel good, but it felt so good and wasn't exactly how I pictured it. Like the first round, I was I think 6 strokes off the lead, so I wasn't like that during that break. I remember talking to Roxy and having a lot of frustrations with my round and kind of a slump I was kind of feeling like I was in a little bit. And so, but kind of talking through those frustrations and like validating them and then moving on, I think really helped me have like a lot of fun that second round. And that second round was really, really windy. And so I was like, I know how to play in some wind and
Yeah.
I can do this. So I can putt with some wind, just like take your time, read it right, make that adjustment and go for it. And so I ended up shooting 6 strokes better on my part. And then it was yeah, I got the win. I was um I look at scores while I'm playing a lot. I know some people are kind of the opposite of that, but I like to be kind of in control and aware of what I'm doing. So
Yeah.
I had 3 holes left, and I knew I had to par on this hole, on hole 18, and I know I needed to get the birdie on hole 1, and I know I needed a par hole 2 over at South Fork. And so having that in my head, like, really helped me because I got the easy par on 18, which was nice, and then on 1, I ended up going kind of wide left with my forehand, so I was kind of outside where I wanted to be, like running range. I'm just taking some high numbers, trying to run putts at hole 1 on South Fork, and but I just stepped up, and I told Roxy before I might lay this up, but if I step up and feel confident, I'm 100% going for it. Went for it, got the putt, got to hole 2, got out clean. My upshot, I was like shaking. I knew I just put it close, get a putt, got within like 10 feet that putt. I could make it, and then yeah, so it felt good.
That's
Definitely like
awesome.
aware, and so I something I like to do and be aware of. So I knew if I wasn't able to execute that plan, I'd be going into a playoff, and I have not gone to a playoff, so that's a whole nother experience that I was a little unaware of, and I was like, I don't want to do that. I just want to win.
Yeah, no,
So
that's awesome. Were you on the chase card, or did you have him on your
yeah,
card? Kind of, dude, chase card killer, man. That feels really good. I love that.
yeah, it was three box squad members on the lead card, and then
Nice.
another person, and then so I was just kind of watching them, and I was like, I know Brian wants a Bach top three, but I
Yeah,
was like, I'll see what I can do about that. I'll make sure it's a top four,
that's
and
awesome. Heck
put
yeah,
my work
man.
in.
Dude, I'm so proud of you. That's so cool. Good for you, man. Yeah, kind of that first one kind of like opens the seal a little bit, right? Where you kind of now kind of see opportunities to win more and more, and kind of put yourself in contention, more consistently. So that's awesome, man. Looking forward to seeing you in MPO, soon enough, kind of thing. So I don't doubt that at all. Um, how was Lines by Levi? How'd that go?
That was really fun. So that tournament, it was really, I didn't get a lot of practice doing the lines or like going out there, but they did put out a YouTube video that I watched a few times, which was really nice. But it was really interesting, kind of opened my eyes to a course that I like, giving me different ideas for holes that I wouldn't normally throw. Like hole 12, they had you mando left of that first tree. So it turns that kind of like stock backhand spike hyzer or stock backhand shot into a big forehand where you're trying
Oh
to
yeah,
press and skip an attack in there. So I thought it was really fun, and it's like gave me ideas like, if there's like a certain wind or if there's a certain condition, maybe I would throw this line or maybe I would do something of that sort. So I really enjoyed it, and I thought it was just a really good vibe. Christian did an amazing job as TD.
yep, yeah,
Really brought the energy, which I thought was just so fun. Like for the start hole, we had he had his trombone, or yeah, and he was just playing it like crazy to
that's
start.
cool.
So like a little
Yeah,
more fun than just a regular horn, and
yeah,
um, he had a triple mando set up for hole 10 at South Fork, so you had to go between the trees and then under this like line. So it was kind of like
okay,
a more you have to low like
yeah,
and
yeah.
have to do like a low piercing shot.
Cool.
And
Yeah,
him and his dad were standing at each side with red and green flags, and if you'd made it, they'd run across. And so there was
that's
just like
fun.
a lot of
Yeah,
fun
yeah,
energy, and it was a
that's
really
cool.
good time. I enjoyed it.
Awesome. Yeah, he came in the shop yesterday, and we kind of did some like wrap some stuff up because he did script through Emerald City, which is awesome of him. And of course, we really appreciate it. So we sent out, as just like a side note, everybody that did play in Lines by Levi, you should have gotten an email yesterday afternoon with like whatever script that you would have won for Emerald City, which you can come and redeem on site, or you can order off of our website and also redeem stuff that way too. So, but yeah, he came in yesterday and we chatted about it, and he was just like he was like buzzing, and he's already kind of like he's a very social person, like he's a very lively person, like he's really easy to talk to, in like that kind of way. So when he came in and we just kind of chatted, and I was like, hey man, like, we're going to talk about you on the show tomorrow. I was like, is there anything like specifically you want to say? And he's like, nah, not really. Just like, thank everybody for coming out. And, I kind of asked him, I was like, so like what, is this going to be like a regular thing that you're going to do? Or are you going to do like go to courses and do something maybe a little different and, kind of mix up the layout and stuff? And he's like, yeah, we definitely want to do some like different and unconventional stuff. And he told me about this one idea that like I was really, really into, and I don't want to like spoil it for him and kind of like out him on it, but
Hmm.
it sounded really fun. So I'm really excited to see the stuff that he's doing. And I will like 100% be participating in some of his tournaments in the future because yeah, some of the ideas that he had like sound really cool. So just nice job, Christian. You're awesome, man. Good way to go.
Yeah, shout out to him. I remember like I was this was last year. I was like signing up for NADGT, and I was talking to him and Levi because I know Levi wanted to try to do that, and so
Hmm.
kind of gave him this idea to host a tournament where Levi picks the lines, and so now it was super cool to have that conversation, kind of get the ball rolling, and then it's just in fruition. We have like 50 players signed up on this day and playing, so it
Yep.
was really cool to see him have the idea in his hand, like right there, and then just go and do it, like, and do it really well.
Yeah, totally. All right. Moving right along into our Music City Open recap. Like we said before, when it comes to like the top DGPT events. Like, unless they're here locally, we're probably not going to touch on them too much, just a little bit. So shout out to Simon Lizotte, winning back-to-back Music City Opens, having a pair of guitars. That's so cool, man. That's such like a sweet trophy for them to give out for that kind of tournament. I'm so impressed with that. Paul McBeth coming in second. Those two are the two guys, like, when I started disc golfing that I was fans of, like, right away. Like, Simon and Paul were, like, the two, like, top guys. Paul was, like, the best in the world at the time, and Simon was, like, the most entertaining player in the world at the time. So it's really awesome to see those two. And then Ricky Iwasaki came to Emerald City Discs this past summer and did a little signing with everybody. So to see those three in the top, or to see those three guys all kind of rocking the top three with Chris Dickerson there too, it's just really cool, and I'm happy to see it. I don't know. I love the narrative that I see as like the old guard kind of thing. Cause it's like these guys are like 34, like 33. Like they're not like, I know like Coling's a little older, but like they're not like these guys aren't like, it's not like, and I mean this really respectfully, but it's not like, like Philo Brathwaite and like, like, I don't know, Harold Duvall, or like Ken Climo all of a sudden coming out and getting like a top three. At that point, you could be like, this old guard is here, but these guys are like in my mind, they're kind of like in the prime of their career / like, become, like learning how to like fully like golf and that kind of stuff. So,
Yeah.
Just excited to see them kind of be in the top three. Ollie, what happened in FBO?
In FBO, Holland Hanley came out really, really hot that first round. I think she had a -7 and a 3-stroke lead, and then after that, it was the Kristen show.
Yeah.
I think she went on to that second round with a -7 to kind of take a few stroke lead going in, or actually tie it into the second round, and then that third round she kind of just shot above the field and pulled it out by 4 strokes against her. But really solid showing from Ella Hansen, getting tied for 4th. Same with Haley King. Big fan of Haley King. Always like checking out where she's landing on the tournaments. Sometimes we'll be playing Fortnite together, some like video games on there, so it's pretty fun. So
That's
big,
cool.
big
Yeah.
Haley fan, always supporting that. And but yeah, really sweet tournament and a back-to-back for Kristen. So she's also got the 2 guitars, and what a trophy. I really do agree. I think I saw Brody tweeting about how good the trophy is. So it's good to see the good tweets about trophies, not just like the garage trophies and stuff like that. So really sweet to see though.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, a lot of disc golf trophies are, and I mean, I have some kind of like up there that are like some of my more like favorite, like sentimental ones. But I mean, those are all from like B tiers and C tiers too. But disc golf trophies, just like across the board, are not necessarily like, oh wow, like look at that. Like there's not too many of them that I think are like overly impressive. They do seem like they're just kind of like random objects most of the time. Yeah,
I like this one. This one was pretty cool. Yeah.
Is it like laser engraved?
Yeah, laser engraved for Farmers Park Open.
Nice.
They're doing another one of that pretty soon. I'm signed up for it, pretty excited for it. But this was actually I slept in. I was signed up for MA2, and they had the A pool and the B pool, and I slept in the A pool tee time. So I called the TD and was like, hey, can I please do MA1? Is it too late to switch? I'm on my way. And I drove in, did my 2 rounds for MA1, and I ended up getting second place, and it felt really, really cool. I had my first 1,000 rated round. It was really cool. Really cool
awesome.
weekend.
That's Marty, right? That hosts that?
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, Marty's good people. Time to wake up. Yeah.
I know, I had a few alarms. I was like, I cannot miss this. I closed nights, and so the alarms are heavy.
Yeah, I appreciate you waking up early to do this with me before I run into the shop for the day. So, a little behind the curtain. Ollie and I usually record these early Tuesday morning, and then Ollie spends most of the day, I will say, kind of cutting it up and editing it because he's good with that stuff. And I'm at the shop being like, let me know if you want me to make a thumbnail or something. It's just like kind of just being like, I can contribute however you need, buddy. And he's like, I got it. Don't worry, man. So always, I really appreciate you, taking the lead on the show and that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been really fun, like having these Tuesday mornings and working on it. It's something I'm learning as well. And it's really fun. It's given me a lot to do with this, and seeing the editing and like learning the tools and stuff has been really fun.
That's cool. It's cool to see you kind of take that and like run with it. Cause like I told you, when we first started this, my idea was literally just to go live on YouTube once a week and talk to myself for as long as I had and then kind of end it. So again, man, super excited to be doing this with you, and I couldn't pick anybody else that, a better, partner in crime for this kind of thing. So
Means a lot. Means a lot.
yeah. Moving along to our MLB check-in. Um, Man, injuries are getting worse in Boston, dude. Our big lefty first baseman, Tristan Casas, the guy's. If you saw the Red Sox in Seattle when they started, the first baseman is massive. Everybody that came next to him looked like a child compared to him. And the guy bops. He's like 24, and he's awesome. And he just has like a left rib strain, which when they asked Alex Cora, our manager, about it, his thing was, yeah, no, this is not good. So between him, Trevor Story, Rafael Devers, Nick Pivetta was injured for a little bit. Tanner Houck, I think, just went down to, is it him or Whitlock? Honestly, I get those two mixed up all the time, even though one of them is like shredding. It's just injuries they're starting to pile up really bad in Boston. It's not looking great necessarily, but our pitching's still holding up. We still have a winning record. We just swept the Pirates, which feels great. I mean, they're not exactly like a hotshot team or anything, but I
didn't realize they had a Aroldis Chapman.
Yeah, I mean, he just got suspended the other day.
Yeah.
That's probably how you found out. Yeah. I mean, I think that was purely just, get him in and then trade him at the deadline, and hopefully you get a prospect or some kind of double-A ball player along the way kind of thing. Maybe cash or something. I don't know. But I'm not feeling very confident in this Boston team, even though we have a winning record, and I might just be that like pessimistic Boston fan for the whole year. And that's okay. If they keep winning and I keep being like, I don't know, like the other leg's going to drop at some point and it just doesn't, that's awesome. And then we're fighting for the wild card.
Yeah.
Maybe we like pick up a hitter or like a pitcher at the trade deadline or something. But if the Red Sox are just like treading water at 500, it kind of hits a point where it's just like, don't trade away some of the future for like a sliver of a chance
For the now.
Yeah. And like, I think especially like in Boston, like I don't think this year or even next year really is like our years to contend. I'm looking at like 2026 as like, okay, if we're just building everything towards then, like that's awesome. And we don't have to tank in the process. I don't like that in baseball. I don't like tanking. But if you just trade away your guys who are on 1-year contracts or 2-year contracts or to expire, if the Red Sox are like, let's say they go on like a bad tear or a bad stretch and they're below 500 going to the trade deadline, like what could we get for Tyler O'Neill, who's currently leading the league in home runs? We could probably get like a solid prospect for him. And if we're not looking at this year, like why not? So I'm excited to kind of see what happens. I like Craig Breslow at the helm up there. So yeah, we'll see what happens for the rest of the year. But yeah, with Casas going down, I'm not feeling great about it.
Mariners are back to 500, 11-11 on the season. 7-3 in their last 10 games. So, playing a lot better, getting a lot more hits. Like I think we had a 9-run game against or 7-run game against Colorado. So scoring runs when feeling like I felt like 5 was like the most we were ever gonna get. It was taking a long time to get the scoring kind of like tipped off, but feeling like I'm liking where we're at, and then playing the Rangers, so who are leading the division right now. So this should be a really fun series the next 3 days.
Nice.
And hopefully get out to a game or something.
Yeah, man, I want to get out pretty soon. There's no tournament this coming weekend because there's a break between Shelton, so it's kind of like the best week to go out and get out to a game.
Catch the Arizona game when they come in.
That would be sweet, dude. Arizona's got some like sick jerseys. Yeah, I love the throwback jerseys with the purple and that. Even like the black ones are pretty cool. Like those are some slick jerseys.
When I see AB wearing the Diamondback stuff, I'm like, oh, it's pretty cool.
It looks cool. That's like such a cool thing for him to do. Like I was like, man, like there's a little part of me that kind of doesn't want to like AB because he's so much cooler than I ever was at that age. You know what I mean? So part of me is just like, kind of screw this kid. But then he does stuff like that, and I'm like, he's all right. He's kind of cool. So
yeah, the since Otis, I've been kind of rocking the sunglasses and
I
the
saw
whole.
that.
I've been changing the look a little bit. I feel a little inspired by AB.
Yeah,
He's got some swag to him. I like that sunny swag. So
that's
I
funny.
can get with it.
That's cool, dude. That's
But I
so
got
funny.
I got my Mariners hat instead. Got my
Yeah,
Ken Griffey's. I'll rep that instead.
that's cool.
That's
Yeah.
the drip too.
I think if I was ever to get a Snicks, it's okay, buddy. That's my cat Snicks. That was Butters on me earlier, who was climbing up. We have two orange boys. Snicks is currently in a box, and he's happy. Um, yeah, so kind of moving right along. Like we said, we have the week off this weekend before we get ready for Shelton next weekend. Ollie, sounds like you and I are going to try to get out Thursday, which is awesome. So looking forward
Yep.
to getting out and playing with you then. I'm going to have a
Yep.
quick turnaround. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I always love getting rounds in with you. I remember, I think it was like our first practice round we did up at Kayak last year
Yeah.
together was like, I felt like I learned so much. I was like, wow, I'm like figuring out lines and figuring out things and feeling prepared for the tournament. So I'm
Yeah.
always excited to go out and play with you.
That practice round was funny too, actually. Like, if we're gonna talk about it for a second, because I remember Brian was like, "Hey, I got this guy who I want to put in the box squad," and I was like, "I don't know who he is," and I looked you up, and I was like, "He's got a good social media following," and then as I was looking into it, I was like, "He's got a really good social media following." The box squad did a post about you being on the team, and it blew up. It was like the most liked post that box squad ever had. So I remember going out with you, and it was like one of the first couple of holes, and I looked at you, and I was like, "Hey, like, who are you?" And you're like, "What?" And I'm like, I was like, "Who are you? Like, how did you like?" I was like, "How are you doing all the stuff you're doing? Like, it's really good." And you're like, "I don't know. I'm just like a nice guy from Seattle." And I was like, "I can't. That's not just it, right? Like, you can't just be a nice guy from Seattle." And you're like, "No, I kind of am." And you are. And it's so. And I went back and told Brian, I was like, "He is just like a nice dude from Seattle." I was like, "It kind of makes sense, man." So I remember that like very distinctly and kind of being like, "Oh, he throws pretty good." So yeah, like I said, man, I don't doubt you'll be an MPO with the rest of us like in due time. So it's all about just kind of learning
Yeah.
your game a little bit, right?
Yeah. A lot of that and then mental game working on and figuring out like what I want to, or like where, yeah, like having a little more game plans with tournaments and not like sometimes my brain just starts going and going and going.
Mm-hmm.
So, just being like, you're gonna throw this disc on this hole, and it's gonna be
Yeah,
okay, no matter what. And then
this
moving
is the
on.
game
So,
plan. Yeah, nice.
yep. So,
Yeah, I'm excited to wrap up Shelton, honestly, because the Monday morning afterwards, I turn around and fly out to Vegas for the Las Vegas Challenge. So really looking forward to that. It's gonna actually be my first time like flying like for a disc golf tournament. I usually will just get in the car and like drive however long it takes.
hmm
So looking forward to it. I'm really excited. I mean, obviously like nervous, but like it's gonna be great. Honestly, this is kind of silly, but like I really hope that they do like the Sexton Firebird drop or the Las Vegas Firebirds. And I'm
mm,
hoping to get like two of those because honestly, if you get the red two, you could like pay. I could pay for my entire trip with two, like with two Vegas Firebirds. So
yeah,
selfishly, I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna get in line for that and kind of see like at least what'll happen there. So I think I got an email about it yesterday from the guys, so I'm gonna dive into that a little bit and kind of see what it's about. But yeah, look, like I said, looking forward to it. That'll be my first kind of taste of quote unquote like even though it's not a pro tour event of pro tour caliber players. Calvin, um, Sexton, all the Innova guys are going to be there. I know Gannon and a lot of like the new Dismania guys are going to be there. So I'm hoping to kind of like link up with some of them, being like, hey, what's up? Like, let's go like Team Dismanias, and kind of link up with them, and maybe take some pictures or something, or ask some questions for the show or something like that. So um, yeah. Speaking of, or I guess moving right along, last week we did the A letter draft, and a lot of you voted, and we really appreciate all of that. But it looks like my list it came out on top. This was super fun. I love like kind of the interaction. I had people afterwards coming to the shop and being like, "Dude, you missed this word. Oh, you missed that." People being like, "I can't believe you drafted like apple pie from McDonald's 1-1," and I was like, "Yo, like." I was like strategy, and like
it
so.
was my 1-1.
Yeah.
That's it.
So, yeah, we're pumped to do that, and I think that's going to be a weekly thing now. So this week, as kind of the legacy letter draft, this is going to be today's B draft. So, because I won the poll from last week, I will have the option of either having the 1-1 pick or having the 2-3 pick. I am going to choose the 1-1 pick because I do have one in my mind that is like superior and I think will kind of run like a lot of the board. But Ollie, you ready to get into it?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right. So, with the 1-1 pick of the B letter draft, I picked blue candy. And that's
Oh,
like all blue candy, like blue raspberry, like airheads, like all like any candy that you get that's blue is always just the best flavor.
man.
So
That is special. I didn't, it's not on my list, but blue candy is one of my favorite things. I'm a blue raz guy.
yes,
Blue, oh my gosh.
the
That
dis
is,
the disappointment I had when I found out blue raspberries weren't real was so it was dramatic for me as a child. Like I can't believe this. So
that's not a real flavor.
I was like, how is this not real? So yeah, blue candy, and I like this pick a lot because this eliminates like pretty much all other like blue things. So as like a B word, I was like, I think that's gonna kind of run the board a little bit. So, Ali, what do you got for the number 2 and the number 3 pick?
Now, I might have to ask a question about it, but I think I'm just gonna pull the trigger on both of them. But I had a call from my buddy last week, and he said if you don't take this as your number one, if this isn't the consensus number one, he's gonna be upset. So, knowing that I'm getting this, it's a segment on our show. We talk about it every week. Baseball.
Yeah, that
And
was my
so
next pick.
baseball is, I think, a
Yeah,
great pick. I get my guy Barry Bonds, the double
yep,
B's there. So we are kind of
yep,
covering those players, the
yep,
sport that we talk about and
totally.
love. So I'm kind of stoked to get that one. And then
Yeah.
it kind of trails me off into my next one. I might just go another ball sport, basketball. And so I'm
Okay.
getting the NBA
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
MLB. I think
Dude,
baseball and basketball are
that's
some
really
good
good.
pulls there. I wasn't
Yeah.
sure if they fell under the same ball category, but
No,
either
no.
way, we're pulling the trigger on both.
I think had you picked just ball, I think basketball
Mm.
and baseball fall under the qualification of ball. But baseball was going to be my next pick. Like that was like the
I've taken
easy,
baseball, basketball.
yeah, yeah. Baseball was easily like the number 2 on my board. That's awesome. I think that's a good round, man. Um, for the number 4 pick, I have number 4 and 5 now. I feel like I don't really need to elaborate on this next one. I'm gonna pick boobs. I feel like I don't really need to. I don't feel like I need to elaborate. So the number 5 pick is going to be baked goods.
On my
Yes,
list.
dude, I love some baked goods.
On
We're
my
talking
list.
like cinnamon rolls. I think technically pizza counts as a baked good because it is baked. But I
It is
think
baked.
when I think like baked goods, I think more like sweets and like that kind of stuff. But
Croissants,
croissants, dude, like a ham and cheese croissant is
scones.
sick. So yeah, baked
Mm,
goods though. So boobs and
yep.
baked goods.
So I'm rocking with baseball, basketball, and then I guess we're just gonna kind of stay on a little bit of a outdoorsy, a little active. We're gonna go biking.
Okay.
Means of transportation,
Yep.
can do it for leisure and fun. But I go on bikes with Roxy all the time. And the electric bikes are getting quite popular and fun, where
Yeah.
it's like you can bike anywhere. So big into
Yeah.
the bikes, big into the bikes.
Seattle's a pretty good city for biking if you know the right routes. As long as you avoid some of the hills at times, I think you can really like get around pretty good.
Yeah,
I used to work in Pike Place Market, and there was definitely a few nights where I would leave work and hop on one of those little Lime bikes, and then I would ride down to it was T-Mobile at the time, or no, it was Safeco at the time, and I would ride down to Safeco and I would like catch like the back half of a game or kind of like the last like
yep,
7 or like I'd jump in like the second inning at times and yeah get some cheap tickets outside the stadium and that kind of thing. So biking, that's a good pick. Yeah.
yep. And then do I have my next one as well?
Yeah, I think you get the wraparound.
All right. Now this is where I had two more things on my list where I'm kind of tossing it up, but I think we're gonna go with the like versatility of the burrito. You can really
Okay,
throw anything into a burrito.
good one.
Sometimes I'll take, you get, of course, like the classic rice, beans, whatever meat you
Squat,
want, whatever
yeah,
veggies.
yeah, yeah.
But sometimes I'll take like a breakfast burrito or,
Yep.
I'll have like my leftover teriyaki, throw it in a burrito. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Just throw it in a burrito.
Nah,
So,
burrito's a good pick, man. I love that. Uh,
I'm liking my list: baseball, basketball, biking, and burritos.
yeah, no, that's a good list. My list to recap is going to be blue candy, boobs, and baked goods. And for my last pick, so I'm kind of, I guess now that it's the end, I can kind of reveal what's left on my board. My board right now is sitting best and backpack and baka bak.
Mm.
And I think I'm gonna pick best.
Oh,
Yeah, baka bak's a good pick, but if I go baked goods and baka bak, I think with appetizers last week, people are gonna be like, all right, this guy in the food. So I think I'm gonna pick best. So my list is gonna be blue candy, boobs, baked goods, and best. And in my mind, like, if it's the best, like, how are you gonna beat my list? Like, my list
I,
literally has best in the name.
it is pretty good. It is pretty good, but baseball is best.
Baseball is pretty sick. That's like a really, really good pick. And I think if I had one too, it would have been blue candy baseball, but this isn't how that works. And, that's a
Yep.
great pick by you. Good pickup. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you ended up getting that, baked goods was on my list. And I also had bananas. I cramp up a
Yeah.
lot, and so bananas are my best friend.
Yeah.
I love bananas.
Bananas are good. Yeah. Yeah, doing research for the B letter draft, that was kind of fun. There's a lot of B words that we were talking about. We'd be like, yeah, like, why would we kind of include that one? Like I will say a fun B word to say is buoyancy. Like that one is,
Whoa,
I was like,
buoyancy.
yeah, I was just like, man, that word is just like satisfying to say, and I can't explain it.
I use that word a lot teaching some lessons. I mean, talking about
Oh yeah,
buoyancy in the water
yeah,
and stuff. So that's a word I use quite often actually in my
yeah. That's funny.
vocab.
Nice. Yeah, so we will go ahead and make a graphic with these on there. We'll post it to our own social medias. The official voting is going to take place on our YouTube channel. So please go there, go to our homepage and click on the community tab. You'll see all of our posts or all of our polls on there. Go ahead and select the poll that you think is superior, and you want that person to get the choice of having the first pick for next week. So
And right now Kirby's 1-0, so we're hoping to get a little comeback, even
that's
it up
right.
back to 500, back to
That's right.
500.
Right. Not gonna happen, bro. My list is solid. Solid.
To end a little bit, I just got a little quote was sent to me by Kirby, but really resonated, I think, with the weekend, and it was really good. The same boiling water that softens the potato hardens the egg. It's about what we're made out of, not the circumstances. So, you know, let's say the situation, just take that how you will and move on. But awesome episode. Great talking with you, Kirby.
You too, man. This was great. Thank you everybody for watching. Really appreciate it. Like and subscribe. See you later.
Yep.